Hi team, welcome back to Gentlercise level 2. The intensity of this routine is going to be very similar to what you did in episode 1 of Gentlercise level 2. The only difference is there's a little bit of variation in the exercises so that you don't get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. And boredom is not what we need right now. We want to be interested in stuff. So hopefully we can keep that interest rolling and challenge you at the same time. Now, just to reiterate, all you need is an area the size of this mat, roughly, some water, some comfy clothes, and if you want some music on in the background, then pick your favourite tunes and enjoy. So, we'll go straight into our little warm-up now. So, feet hip distance apart, exactly the same as before, and roll on the feet. I like to keep our warm-up fairly similar. The same goes for the stretching at the end. If we keep it fairly uniform, then we can get into it nice and easily, and then focus harder on the techniques further down the line, rather than concerning ourselves with the techniques of the warm-up. So remember, this is all about waking up the little muscles in the feet and your calf muscles, but we can also think about that posture aspect, lifting the chest. So I should have lift your chest written on my t-shirt, shouldn't I? Say it all the time. Good. Alright, feet still. We're going to reach across the body. So if you need to start this a little bit slower, maybe if you've got a bit of stiffness in the shoulders, then do so. But other than that, just keep going. Just keep challenging the upper body. Loosen it all off. Get the blood flowing. And remember, if you get dizzy doing this, then keep your head facing forwards. That's it. Alright, same thing now, up to the ceiling, reach up. Remember, this is all about increasing the heart rate slightly, increasing your blood pressure, so that we can get blood flowing to all the extremities, so it can deliver oxygen and energy to where it's needed. Good stuff. Alright, bring the arms back down again. Right, give it a little shake. We're going to do a little bit of balance now, so the hurdles like we did in round 1. Keep your eyes fixed up on a point, take one leg out and round to the front. And then swap legs. And we're alternating legs both times, maintaining the balance on each side. Okay, so if you're doing this with somebody else, make sure you've got plenty of space and you don't look at what they're doing. It always causes you to come a cropper if you watch somebody else when you're trying to balance yourself. That's it. We'll do one more going forwards on the other leg, and now we'll go backwards. So we're going out to the side and round. Remember, you can make your circle or your hurdle as high or as wide as you like, depending on your own pelvis. Alright, it won't matter if it clunks a little bit. Mine's a little bit grindy, but we just got to get the fluid going to those joints so that they're nice and cushioned. One more. And then we're going to go back into those starfish that we did last time. So squat down, brush the floor, squeeze your butt and lean slightly backwards, taking the arms out to the side. This is where we're just livening the core and the lower back. I'll just go sideways onto you so you can see how much I'm leaning back. See, it's not loads, but I am hyperextending slightly and squeezing my buttocks as I go, and then that just protects the lower back. One more. That's it. Proper job. Okay, so we're going to go into those Ministry of Funny Walk style exercises now. So bring the knee up to the front, extend the leg out in front and sweep it round, and then take it out to the side like a one-legged breaststroker. Well, I'll go sideways on, up, out and round, up, out and round to the side. So we're alternating legs each time and just keep going in a nice slow and controlled fashion. Up and round, out and round. Good, one more on each side. Out and round, Good. Out. And round. All right, lovely. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance and sweep round with the arms. Good. So make sure that your hips are back. Remember the concept of getting your knees back from your toes. You want to be able to wiggle those toes, and that tells you that your knees aren't travelling past your toes. That's it. One more. Good. Give it a little shake, and now we're going to take the legs out wide. Last little dynamic stretch of the warm-up. We're going to reach out the arms and then switch to the other side. So we're straightening one leg, bending the other, and looking for the stretch, potentially on the inside thigh. You might not get a stretch. This might be just a case of mobilising those muscles. But either way, it's a good little move to do just to wake up the inside thighs. Sit. Good. One more on each side. Lovely. Okay, step it in and give it a shake. Right, take 5 seconds, go and grab yourself a quick drink, and then come back in the room. We're going to do some dip kicks. So whilst you're having a quick shake out and a quick drink, I'm just going to demonstrate those dip kicks to you. So it's basically a squat with a kick. So we squat down, come up, and kick out one leg. Then we go on to the other side. So nice and simple, keeping everything nice and controlled from the core, so we're not overbalancing and challenging those thighs at the same time. Right, everybody back in the room. We're going to get our feet hip distance apart, and we're going down and up. And we're going to do 10 of these. Down, up. Try and get your hips as low as you can, and make sure you're wiggling your toes a little bit, just as a little bit of a warm fuzzy feeling that you've got it right. That's it. Two more. 9 and 10. Good. Right, I want you to bring your arms up in front now, and we're going to take the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. So we're going something like this. All right, a little bit of a twist in the waist, taking the elbow down to the opposite knee. So we're just challenging the arms by keeping them up here, but if you need to bring them down at any point because they're starting to fatigue, then that's fine. But then take them back up again as soon as they feel ready. We want to increase the challenge. Make sure you're working hard, but not so hard that we're going to be in pain tomorrow. Okay? Then 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stop right there. We're going to do a speed ball now. So that's where we make some fists, and we circle those fists like so. So imagine you're a boxer. Picture that ball in front, and that's where you're boxing it out in front. That's it. Right, twist to the side. It's like my flag. Should be in the window, but then it blocks all the light. Twist to the other side. That's it. And back to the middle. I'm going to pick up the pace. Let's get some speed on. Get the bingo rings going. Trying to control mine right now from slapping me in the face. Right, slow it down. Cracking job. Right, shake it all about. Right, take a little bit of a break, grab a drink if you wish, and then we're going to go straight back into the dip kicks and repeat this set. So it was 10 dip kicks. Right, everybody in. Feet hip distance apart. Chest out, make sure we can wiggle those toes as we squat down, and off we go. And kick out. Down, out, down, out. Sit. 4 down. 3 more. 8 and 9. 1 more. And 10. Good. Shake those thighs. Take the arms up, and we're going elbow to knee, crossing over the body. So we should be feeling this a little bit in the abs. We're using those abs to lift the legs And we're getting that nice twist. So we're using the back, using your obliques, other muscles down in your waistline. All make up your core stability or your core strength. Lots of different words for it. That's it. And 3, 2, 1, and speedball. Good, keep the arms nice and loose, soft knees. Last exercise of the group, and then we'll have a bit longer rest before going on to our next routine. Twist to the side. And back the other way. Good, back to the middle. And pick up the pace. That's it, don't punch yourself in the face. That was my engine noise, by the way. Good, slow it down and give it a little shake out. Right, our next group is down on the floor. So if you would like a quick drink, I'm going to have a quick drink. I need to wet my whistle. Right, so we're going to go down on all fours. All right, if you have any problems with your knees, then I would suggest maybe getting a bit of a cushion just to support underneath your knees. Right, everybody down, please. Right, we're going to start off in this nice, comfortable all fours position. And what we're going to do is take one leg back and we're going to lift it slightly. So watch my back. As I lift my leg, my lower back comes down, and then I'm going to bring that knee into the chest and round the spine and tuck that tailbone underneath. You see, so it's up and then in. All right, up and in. If you have any difficulty with this, keep the knee slightly bent, maybe go a little bit slower. Don't do so many, you don't need to. We're going to alternate legs each time. So, everybody ready? Off we go. Take one leg back, lift it slightly, head up, nice arched back, and then bring the knee into the chest, tucking the tailbone under, and then place it back down again. Swap the legs. Up and in, arcing the spine, and down. Swap legs. Up, in, down. Good. So keep swapping those legs after each one. Leg up, in, tuck the tailbone under, down. Up, in, and down. Other leg, up, in, and under, down. One more time on each side. Up, in, and down. Last time. Up, in, rounding the back, and down. Good. Right, everybody now, onto your backs. Roll it over. So we're going to challenge the lower backs now, but to keep that challenge to a minimum, I want you to push your belly button down into the floor so that your core is controlling your lower back. Take your hands now underneath your hips. And we're going to pedal our bike. So imagine you've got an imaginary bike and we're just cycling the legs like so. Push that belly button into the floor, extend one leg at a time. That's it. Now, if you want to make this harder, slow it right down and take the leg as straight and as low as you can. If, however, you want to make it easier, all right, just make your circles smaller, just like that. Equally, taking your hands out from underneath will also make life a lot harder. So you gauge it according to your ability and how well your lower back supports this movement. Okay? All right, stop there. Put your legs down. So we're going to have our right leg flat to the floor. Lift your left knee and take your right hand underneath your left foot like so. We want 90 degrees at the knee and then lie flat back. Left hand goes behind the head and we're now going to lift head, shoulders and right leg off the floor and lift up. So as we lift up, try and pulse the pelvis off the floor and slowly lower it back down again. And up and down. So make sure you're holding the foot in the middle of your foot, not at your toes or your heel. And try and keep 90 degrees at your knee. That's it, lifting it up and down. One more time on this side. Excellent. All right, release it all off and change legs. So we're going to take the left hand underneath the right foot now, 90 degrees at the knee, right hand behind your head, and we're coming up, lifting the pelvis slightly and down. It's not a big movement, you probably can't even see it on this video. It's just enough to engage your lower abs. So up and down and up and down. We'll have one more. Up and down. Good. Relax it there. So we're going to come back up onto all fours and repeat that circuit. So round we come, onto all fours. So this first one is where we take that leg out and lift, stick your chest up, arc the spine, and then roll in. However, if you found the last time you did this quite easy, we're going to stick to doing them all on one leg and then all on the other leg. If you found it just about right or quite challenging, then continue to alternate your legs. So we're going to do 4 on both sides. So we'll start off, one leg back, lift up, and then tuck the knee under to your chest, tucking the tailbone under. Swap legs if you need to, or carry on the same side. Lifting, knee into the chest. And then up. That's it, really arc the spine, tuck the tailbone under, and curl the spine under. One more on this side, or it should be 4 if you're alternating. And swap it over, unless you are already going from one to the other. Knee into chest, leg up, arcing the spine, knee in, and tuck that tailbone under, up and in. Good. One more, up and in. Good. Everybody onto your backs, please. And we're going back into those pedaling that we did earlier. So whatever grade you were at before, you're doing this with your hands under your hips, belly button down towards the floor and pedaling out. If you were getting your legs quite low to the ground, then do the same thing again. Remember to do it quite slowly and under control. And make sure that that lower back is in contact with the floor throughout. Alright, it's really important because as soon as your back starts to arc, that means your core isn't controlling your spine anymore. And we need that control to protect the spine. It's not challenging it in a good way if you bring it up. That's it. In 3, a 2, and a 1, and relax. Good. So we're going back into those pigeon pose abs now. So left leg up, right hand under the foot, left hand behind the head, lie flat for a second so you can make sure that you've got your knee at 90 degrees and your belly button into the floor, and then we're going to lift right leg and head and shoulders off the mat and lower it back down, and make sure it's all under control. We're not dropping the leg, we're staying at the same speed all the way through. That's it. Do one more on this side. That's it. And change sides. So left hand underneath the right foot, right hand behind the head, 90 degrees at the knee and belly button into the mat, and then we'll raise everything up. Leg, rather, not legs. Well, I suppose it is. You have both your legs up. That's it. Raise up and down, lifting the shoulders off the floor and just giving your pelvis a little lift to really work your lower abs. That's it. Is that 4 or 5? Don't know. There we go. Alright. And relax it off. Good. So, we're going to do our next one now by coming over onto plank. So everybody roll over, unless you need a quick drink, in which case go and grab one now. And I'll just talk through the exercises in the plank. So, we're going to think about what we did in the last routine, which is when we were on all fours, but we're now going to do it on plank. So elbows are going to go below the shoulders. Just let me demonstrate first of all, so you can all have a rest. We're going to lift the pelvis up. So knees down and chest out. Okay, so we've got this nice strong position. Now what we're going to do is lift the knees off the floor and down. Okay, we're coming up and down. And that's it. So we don't want the hips coming up. We're just literally taking knees off and lowering down. Now, I would like to challenge everybody a little bit more, and we're going to add in a phase. If that's too much, then just continue doing what we were just doing there, which is just literally lifting the knees off the floor and lowering down. If that's quite easy and you fancy a little bit more, okay, we'll be in this position. We're then going to come up and then tuck the tailbone under. Tailbone up, then drop the knees down and lower. You see? Okay, so we're going to go up, knees up, tailbone under, tailbone up, bring that back down, lower the knees. Everybody join in if you're not doing so already. If, however, you just want to do this and straight down, just stick to that, okay? If you're challenged enough, do what you can. Right, up, knees up, tailbone under, tailbone up, tailbone flat, knees down, and relax. Come up, knees off, tailbone under, tailbone up, tailbone flat, and lower down. We're going to do one more. Lift your hips, lift your knees, tailbone under, tailbone up, tailbone flat, and lie all the way down, taking the arms out forwards. Well done. So that's a really quite intense movement for your lower abs, what we call your transverse abs. That's the muscle right down at the bottom of your abdominal wall. So by tucking your tailbone under, you're activating that transverse ab. Right, I'm just going to move my kettlebell, if it will. I've had to do this to stop my mat from ruffling up. We're now going to imagine that we're paddling a surfboard. We're in a lovely blue sea, and we're going to sweep one arm back and then sweep the other one back, taking the other one forwards. And imagine that we're paddling a surfboard, or let's say in the Caribbean. Oh, ooh, lovely. In the sun. And the reason why we're in the Caribbean is that we want it to be nice and peaceful. No waves. We're just looking at the fish through the nice clear water. This is why I lose count. I get distracted in my imaginings. Just sweep those arms out and round and down. Okay, so you should feel this challenging your lower back. Just rest there and roll over. Hip thrusts now. Nice and simple, feet flat, and lift the hips up and down, squeezing your buttocks up as high as you can, and then lowering back down again. Alright? Try and squeeze your glutes as much as possible, taking your hips up and then lower down. If you suffer with cramp doing this, little tip, just bring the feet in a little bit closer, and then that just allows the hamstring just to release off a little bit easier. Cramp's quite common in the old hip thrust position. That's it. Well done. We're going to do 3 more. A 1, a 2, Another 3. Good. And sit back up. Nice and steady. And take the legs round. And we're going to sit up nice and straight. And we're going to do what we call a torso rotation now. So chest out and cross your feet. We're going to lean back ever so slightly. So if I go sideways on, you can see. So this would be upright. And we're just taking it to about there. We don't want to go too far back, because first of all, we don't want to grind our coccyx into the floor. But second of all, we don't want to be so far back that we're really having to challenge the abs. So take yourself back into a challenge position, but not overly, and lift that chest. Twist now. This becomes the main focus, is the twist. And then we reach up tall in between. And then go to the other side. If you want to make this harder, lift your feet off the floor. You don't have to. Keep your feet on the floor if you're quite happy and quite suitably challenged, okay, because that will put pressure on your hip flexors. That's it. And we'll do one more. Good. All right. Just hug those knees into your chest. We're going to repeat that last circuit one more time, and then we'll go into some stretches. So remember what stage you were at with all those exercises. If you feel you can go a bit further, then try. Most of those exercises are made harder by going slower. But obviously there was some where we put in a purposeful, harder option. So, moving swiftly on, plank. Elbows down, please. I'm going to go through that routine. So remember, if you struggle to hold the plank in the full plank position, then simply come up, lift the knees, lower the knees, and come down. Okay? If you fancy that challenge, we're going to come up, lift the knees, tuck the tailbone under, tailbone up, tailbone flat, knees down, relax. Okay? Come up, knees off, tailbone under, tailbone up, tailbone flat, knees down, relax. Okay, up, knees off, tailbone under, tailbone up, flat, down, relax. One more time. Up, knees up, tailbone under, tailbone up, flat, knees down, and relax all the way down. And imagine we're back on our paddle boards or surfboards, sweeping the arms one at a time, working the lower back. Now on this one you can make it easier. Sorry, I forgot to mention at the start, by just letting your hands go down by the mat and relax them back up again. So it becomes more like a front crawl. If you can, take the arms off altogether. Alright, and we're just paddling the surfboards, keeping your chest off. Good. So you should feel this in your lower back. Alright, we shouldn't feel sharp pain. If you're feeling any sharp pain, then leave the hands on the mat at all times and keep one arm in contact with the floor. Right, over onto your backs. Back into hip thrusts now. Feet flat. And lift away. So we're going to lift those hips up as high as we can. Tap the floor and come up. Really squeeze your buttocks as high as they'll go. That's it. And the last thing you want to be doing is doing this super quick. The slower you go, the better. Same with everything. So that's 8. We'll do 2 more, I think. 9. And on this last one, keep your hips up and take the arms up above the head. And we're going to slowly bring the arms up overhead and slowly lower the hips down. And I want you to try and lower vertebra by vertebra as you come down to normal. all goes super slow. And you're trying to uncurl your back, so picture your lumbar spine just uncurling slightly, and then come down all the way into the floor. Magic stuff. Right, sit up. Cross your feet. Last exercise, chest out, lean back slightly, not too far, chest out though, tap the floor and reach up. We're going to do 8 in total of these on both sides, but if you need to go slower, then go slower. I don't normally give numbers. Numbers are incidental, really. That's it. And if you want to lift your feet up to make it harder, go for it. 2 more on each side. Well done. I think that was 1 more actually. If it's not, it's bonus fizz. Good. And bring those knees in. Take your hands underneath your thighs and just tuck yourself in. Take your chin right down to your chest and hug your knees. Let that spine completely relax and stretch. That's it. Good. Take a big deep breath. And exhale. Okay, so we're going to do our first stretch standing up, and then the rest we'll do on the floor. So if everybody could come up, grab yourselves a quick drink if you wish. And then we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So we're going to do this in a standing position. We did it in the first routine, kneeling down, but we're going to do it standing up now. And I'm going to go sideways on. So, can we start off, please? Left foot is your grounded leg. Step forwards with the right and keep that leg straight. And then we're going to sit back. So we're going to bend the left leg, straighten the right, and put both hands on the left leg. And then we're just going to lean the chest down towards the knee. Note that my spine isn't arched, my head isn't down, my head is in neutral, and my spine is as neutral as I can get it. And I'm pushing down with the chest. It doesn't matter how far down you can get. Some people are going to get all the way down, some people won't. That's all completely individual. If there are any ex-ballerinas amongst you, or current ballerinas, in all fairness, I think if you're a current ballerina, let's stand up, you should probably be doing something a little bit more challenging. Okay, step forwards with the other leg. So we've got left leg forwards now, right leg back, bend the back leg, bend the right leg, straighten the left, and again, head in neutral, back flat, chest down towards the knee. And we're trying to get that stretch down the back of your leg. Good. Head up, chest out, bend the knees slowly rise. We're going to do it 1 more time, but this time we're going to focus on the calf muscles. So left leg bent, right leg straight, chest down towards the knee, and then we're going to pull the toe up of the right leg. If you can grab hold of it, do so. You don't need to. It's just one of those habits, isn't it, that we go down. But then we should have a stretch, more stretch down this part of your calf, so the top part of your calf muscle. Release that off, bend your knees, slowly rise, put that chest out and swap us over. Right leg bent, left leg out in front, chest down to the knee and pull the toe up. That's it. Well done. Relax that off, bend the knees, chest out and stand. Good. Right, if we can go down onto the floor now. Oh, my knee cracking. It's going well. Right, lie all the way down. We're going to reach back, grab hold of the laces of one leg and bring the knees in together and squeeze your butt to increase the stretch and really try and challenge that quad muscle, that front of your thigh. And as I said last time, if you struggle with this particular stretch, then please do practice, starting off maybe holding onto your foot or onto your trainer, or perhaps having somebody else give you a little push, or if you're really feeling keen, then grab yourself a tea towel and wrap it round your ankle, and then you can grab hold of the tea towel. That's another way of doing it. Release that off, change sides. Grab hold of the laces, knees in together, and give your butt a good squeeze again. Good, release this off. And hands level with your chest, come up into that cobra position. Chest out, neck free. And we're just going to roll the pelvis left and right, just gently, just to free up any tension in that lower back and the base of your spine. That's it. Alright, lift through the belly button, up, and bring the knees out to the side and sit back if you can on your sit bones and take the hands out forwards. So we're taking the chest down to the floor, trying to keep your sit bones on your heels and feel the stretch on the inside thighs and possibly across here as well, across your arms and your back. Again, everyone will be different. I'm not particularly flexible in this department, but if you can get your elbows to the floor, then do challenge it. Good. Come up onto all fours and come round to a seated position. And we're going to get the feet together, knees up. Now, I'm going to do the opposite to you. So I'm going to talk to you left and right, opposite way around, so you can mirror me. But we're going to take the right hand or right arm, twist to the left hand side of your body and take the back of that arm to the outside of your left knee. Then take the left arm round to the back and we're going to twist. So we're pushing against the knees and twisting as we go. We should get a lovely stretch in the mid to lower back region depending on flexibility. If you don't feel a stretch, normally a sign that your spine is super duper healthy and nice and flexible. I'm not so gifted in that department. I love this stretch. I feel like my spine is really benefiting from this. You can feel the fluids all flowing to the little muscles in my spine. But we won't stay there too long. Slowly uncurl. Take the right hands now behind the back. Take the left arm to the outside of your right knee and push inwards with that arm, pushing against the knee and twist around to the back. So we're twisting to the right now. Good. Come back to the middle. And we're just going to take the hands under the thighs again and hug the knees. Good, slowly release. And we're going to lie it round and come down onto your back. Right, we're going to do one more stretch. Take the arms out to the side. Sorry, don't want to take the arms out to the side, lift the left knee up off the floor and take your right hand to the outside of the knee. And then we're just going to gently pull that knee across the body and look over the back shoulder. So we're looking over the left shoulder and gently pushing the outside of this knee down to the floor. And we're looking for another stretch in that lower back region. These are all really good stretches for the lower back. I'm really focusing on that lower back today, simply because I'm seeing a lot of people spending a lot of time sitting still at the moment or gardening, and both of those things lead the lower back to get very, very stiff and sometimes quite painful. So we're just introducing plenty of mobility and flexibility options for the spine and that lower back region. I'm a gardener myself, and I love spending time on the allotment, but I can tell you what, my lower back does not like it at all. So I try and make sure I come in and do these stretches just to keep that lower back nice and healthy. So I can keep doing it. That's the main thing, isn't it? We don't have to get any better at it. It's just about maintaining That's it. And if this goes on much longer, I'll be sharing my experiences on my allotment as well. Right, release off, bring the feet back round. Let's hug those knees into the chest. And take those legs out to straight. Relax it all off. Get your body in a nice neutral position. Take the arms out to the side, palms facing up or down, depending on you. Take a big deep breath. And go into that Shavasana routine of doing absolutely nothing. Empty your mind. There should be nothing in there apart from thinking nice thoughts about somewhere super peaceful and relaxing. You've done your fizz for the day, so enjoy it. Enjoy that moment and face the rest of the day super energized. Thank you very much, team, and I'll see you again soon.